So here we have like old SDLC models and advanced SDLC models. So we will be discussing on Waterfall model, V model, and Agile model. These three are the latest models. Okay. So right now, industry is using. So we will be discussing on, tomorrow. So, but you guys, if you wanted to learn much, just to understand what is very high level, but looks like the entire process and entire, cycle is similar to this one only. This cycle follows by each and every model, but little different. Okay. So these all are the SDLC models. So what is SDLC? You know, right? This is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test the software by using these models, by applying these phases. Okay. So this is about our second concept. Next, third one. What is third one? Software testing levels or stages of testing. In interview question, they will ask what is the stages of testing. So here the first stage is like first one, second one, and third one. Yeah, here the stages of testing is the first one is document testing. So here we will be documenting each and every requirement to understand, the entire team. So that will be conducted by business analyst and, architecture team. The next one is unit testing. Unit testing usually performed by developers. You know, right? Developer is nothing but to write the programming instructions. We call it as a developer. Unit testing. The third one is integration testing. Integration testing. So unit testing is nothing but, let's say, one application that is Flipkart. So we have like 4 developers. So each developer worked on different modules. Like one person is worked on some electronic appliances, and one guy is worked on grocery module, and one more guy is worked on, the different mobiles module. Some different modules we have, right? So each developer is working on different units, or we call it as a individual component, that we call it as a unit testing. So after they are done with that individual component development, then they have to integrate together, club together, that we call it as a integration testing. This is also done by developers. The fourth step is, what is the fourth step? Anybody have any idea? System testing.
Regression.
Yeah, system testing, which contains regression, everything, that usually performed by test engineer, or sprint testing, or software testing. There are multiple names. This usually done by test engineer or QA analyst. Next, fifth one.
User acceptance testing.
Yes, UAT. User acceptance testing. What is user acceptance testing? Anybody have any idea?
The customer, it finally, who is the customer using?
Yeah, so we'll be validating the requirements in front of the customer, in front of the end user. You know, right? Who is customer or client or end user? These three terminologies are same. I mean, who want to the software, that we call it as a client. Okay.
Build customer satisfaction.
Yeah. The next one is after UAT, deployment. Deployment testing or release testing, we call it as. Deploying into production. Last one is nothing but testing during maintenance. Testing during maintenance means So let's take our IRCTC application. So we are done with entire testing, but though the product is completely built and the testing is completed, but we have to support the maintenance. That means we have to perform the regression testing. So once in a 1 week or 15 days or 1 month, based on the client requirement, we might encounter a new defects or new issues during the maintenance stage. Maintenance means project development is completed, but we have to support. Ante let's take an example. We purchased a mobile. So that mobile, once we paid the money and we got our mobile, but they will support 1 year, right? If you found any issues, they are the persons to solve without any money. Okay, that we call it as a maintenance. So these all are the software testing stages or testing levels. In interview question, they will ask what are the stages of testing. So instead of saying all, you should focus on these three: unit testing, integration testing, system testing. These three are enough during the interview. Okay. Yeah. Next, our fourth topic. Fourth concept is software testing types. So what are the software testing types available in testing course? One is functional testing. What is functional testing? Just to test the software. Functional testing or system testing or sprint testing, software testing, these all are same. These all will be performed by QA test engineer, QA engineer, by using some software test design techniques that will be covered in our next chapter. Okay, so functional testing is nothing but to test the specified behavior of the software, and we referred as a black box testing. Okay, we will discuss it in the next. The second one, non-functional testing. What is non-functional testing? Anybody have any idea what is non-functional testing? Non-functional testing is nothing but we have to consider some of the attributes of an application, such as performance, usability, security. So these all are non-functional. Okay, let's take an IRCTC application. So at a time, if 1 lakh people are accessing that application, we will observe or we will notice kind of performance issue. That is, the application might slow down. That we call it as a non-functional testing. So interview point of view, they will ask what are the testing types. Those are functional testing and non-functional testing. Functional testing is performed by a test engineer by applying different black box test design techniques. Non-functional testing will be conducted once the functional testing is completed, but it considers some of the attributes like performance, security, usability, and so on. Okay, we will discuss it when it comes to this topic. Next, third one, structural testing. Structural testing, this is usually done by developers, where structural testing derives the tests based on the system's internal structure. So basically, this is not QA job. This is usually done by the developers. Okay, internal structure. Internal structure may include code or architecture or workflows, some data flows within the system, that we call it as a structural testing. So the fourth one and last one, change related testing. Change related testing contains regression and retesting, which is part of functional testing. Basically, as for the ISTQB, that is the internal standard syllabus, the software testing types are 4 types, but we should focus on the first 2. functional or non-functional, the last one will be covered under functional testing, but I am saying as per the international syllabus. Okay, but we will be looking at these two concepts. Yeah, software testing types are completed. Next one, important one, this one, software test design techniques. Okay, so these all are the index or content of all, you know, software course content. So if you wanted to go through each topic, if you Google it, you will get what it is, what is unit testing or what is non-functional testing. Everything will be available. This is the course content, and you know, so in interview point of view also, they will ask stages of testing or software testing types. 90 to 100% the questions will be arised from this syllabus. Okay, then software test design techniques. Anybody have any idea what are the software test design techniques? We have two types. First one is static test design techniques, and the second one is
Dynamic test.
Okay, so what all comes under static design techniques? The first one is reviews. Static design is nothing but we are just understanding the documentation, that we call it as a static test design technique. I mean, once the project is okay, so initially we are getting the required documentation from the client. For that, we have a number of reviews with you know, project managers, test leads, test managers, project managers, client. Okay, so we have different types of reviews. Those reviews we call it as it's nothing but a manual execution, that is informal review. These are different types of meetings. The next one is walkthrough. We are understanding each and everything, walkthroughs, I mean, to understand much better. That's technical review. And the fourth one is like inspection. Okay, these all are comes under reviews, which are comes under static test design techniques. Okay, so this usually these mostly involved by high level management. High level management in any company will involve in this static test design techniques. Okay, the next one, the next one is reviews. Second one is automatic analysis, that basically automation portion. This is automated analysis. Okay, so moving to the dynamic test design techniques. So this is completely a QA area. This is our area. Okay, we have to work on this dynamic test design techniques. What are the dynamic test design techniques are available in QA? So they will ask what are the test design techniques available in QA. This is interview question. The first one is like, right now we discussed black box technique. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Black box techniques are specification based technique. This is completely QA task. Okay, so what are the black box test techniques available? Anybody have any idea? In interview question, what is black box testing and what are the types of black box techniques available? Black box technique is nothing but to test the outer core, outer structure of an application is called a black box technique. Okay, if we have one application, we wanted to test the outer portion or outer structure of an application, is called black box testing. Inner core functionalities will be comes under white box test technique, that is done by developers. Black box test technique done by test engineer. Okay, so it contains equivalence partitioning. We call it as a EP. The second one is like boundary value analysis, that is BVA. And the third one is like, we'll explain each and every concept, okay, going forward. Decision table testing. And the fourth one is like state transition testing. And the fifth one is like use case testing. But interview point of view, if they ask what are the black box test technique, you just say equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis. These two plays a major role. The next one is white box test technique. As I said, white box test technique performed by who will be performing white box techniques?
Developers.
Exactly. Developer will be performing white box test. It contains statement coverage, decision coverage, and condition coverage. Okay, so these all will be comes under software test design techniques. So we will be discussing it in our once we are done with the first four concepts, then we will move to the fifth one. Yeah, next, what is the sixth topic? Sixth content, content in our index. This is very important and this plays very key role. Without this question, the interview will not happen. Okay, software test process or software test life cycle. Okay, this contains the same phases like here we discussed, right? These the same will be applied this, but it little difference. This is development life cycle. This is development life cycle. This is SDLC, software test life cycle. Okay, here initially requirement analysis. We will be understanding the requirements. Next, what is our test job? Our job, test planning. We have to plan for our testing, and after that test design, and we have to write the test cases, right? Test design are nothing but development. After that, once test development and test design, test case design completed, then test environment setup. Okay, next, once test environment is ready, then what tester is going to do? You understood the requirements, you prepared some test plan and test strategy documents in test planning, and you have created the test cases in test design, and environment is ready. Next, once environment is ready, then what a test engineer can do? Anybody have any idea? After environment is ready, then what you have to do?
Client will test that.
What? What you have to do?
We will write some test cases.
Already test cases are written in test design. Test design and
Then we
development.
will then execute the test cases.
Exactly. We have to execute the test cases. Test environment is ready, right? The next step is test execution.
Execution.
Test execution. The last one, Once test execution is completed, and we have to test cycle close. Okay, these all are the different phases in SDLC. That is SDLC, software development life cycle model. This is SDLC. This is completely related to a software test engineer. Okay, so this is the 6th point. Next, what is the 7th one? We will discuss on defect life cycle. I will share this content. Okay, defect life cycle we will explain it in one session, and the next topic is how to prepare test cases and format of test case template. Okay, same day we will be covering what is test plan and test strategy. Okay, 9th day we will be discussing some real-time interview questions. After that, we will be discussing test management tools. There are some test management tools where we are tracking our entire test cases, test executions, documentation, defects. Everything will be maintained in one. There are some test management tools available in market where this will give you a complete picture, the progress of the project in the test management tools for high level management. Let's say if your manager wanted to know the progress of your project. So let's take some guy, someone like Shiva. So how many test cases is executed today? If he wanted to track that info, he just log into test management tool and try to get all the details related to the particular associate. So here we have a test management tool like Zira and Quality Center. Okay. Then lastly, we will discuss about some basics of SQL. SQL is nothing but a structured query language. Okay. So we will be covering all these topics. So today we will discuss on this one. So tell me about yourself. Anybody can say, tell me about, so first question, someone will ask you, just tell me about yourself. We have 1 minute. So we will, discuss this topic tomorrow. So are you okay, familiar and understand all these, concepts? Or do you want it in more detail? Because it will take, few days to understand this entire QA terminology, but it's very simple. One of the easiest course in the software testing, software industry is testing course. Okay, just speak something, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will share this, class day 2 notes. Every day I will share the notes. You just try to understand the terminology. Later on, you will, get into the subject. So once I will start each topic every day, then you will get clear idea and more understanding of the subject. Okay, so our session is going to